Hello, my name's Chloe Aitken. I'm on the Pegasus team here at TMB, and this is the second in our series of short hints and tips videos to help you get the most out of Pegasus Opera 3. So today we're going to have a look at your user preferences. So user preferences are held under the Administration tab, System, Preferences. Now if we have a look at this form and look at the various options on it. So first of all we have our default company. So if you work in various companies in Opera but do the majority of your postings in, for example, Company A, you can select your default company to be Company A so that when you log into Opera, Company A is the company into which you enter. Below that we have Confirm. Now Confirm is the Are You Sure prompt when you post entries into Opera. Without this ticked, if you were to post an invoice into the sales ledger, as soon as you hit post, the ledger will update. With the Confirm option ticked, you will get a prompt from Opera saying, are you sure you want to post this invoice, to which you must reply yes or no. So it's probably wise to have that ticked on in the first instance. Below that we have the Show Accelerator Key toolbar. So these are your accelerator keys down here, and basically what they do is give you quick access to the most used functions under the action button. So for example, in sales processing it's going to be invoice, credit, receipt, etc. There are other options available to you under the action menu. The accelerator keys just give you access to the main ones with a single click. So have invoice, credit. You can also use the F5 shortcut keys. We go back into preferences. Grey and white grid. So there are various grids in Opera. For example, under sales processing, the account view is a grid. With grey and white ticked, basically alternate lines are grey. If it weren't ticked, each line would be white. So it just helps with visually searching through the records really. Under that we have use extended searching. So I've got this off at the moment because I want to show you how it works. So basically with it turned off, if I go into financials and processing and I want to find a customer account and I'm looking for, now I know their name is Anderson something, and I think they're based in Sherlock Road. And I'm gonna, not sure which address line it's on, so I'm gonna look for all of those address lines and then hit search. And it's not gonna find anything. Reason being, without extended searching turned on, it's looking for Anderson Sherlock. So it's looking for those two words together in a string. If I come out of there, go back into preferences and turn extended searching on, and we need to log in again. Just make sure that's definitely on, which it is. So if we go back into financials now and look up Anderson, company Anderson, and somewhere in Sherlock Road or something, click on my address line. So I'm looking for Anderson, and they're in Sherlock Road somewhere, I think. Hit search, and this time it's found them. So it's Anderson Car Factors. Oh, look, I was right. It was Sherlock Park, not Sherlock Road, but that's where they are. So you can see there what it's done. It's looked for those words as individual items, and it's looked for them because we've ticked on the search. We looked under the address fields and the company name. It knew to look in all those fields for either of those items. Okay, so that's what extended searching does. That's quite useful. Finally, in our preferences top options, we've got auto clear. And the way that works, if we pop back into sales processing, so if I click on items light here, my cursor is between the A and the M. If I hit tab, it starts at the front of each field. So I need to either place my cursor to insert text or change it, highlight to delete things, etc., etc. If I go back into preferences and switch on auto clear, click OK. Again, we need to log on to affect those changes. So this time, when I hit tab, the entire contents of the field is highlighted. So say for example, items like change their address, let's start at the top. We could straight away overwrite. If for example, actually I didn't want to do that, I can hit escape. Yes, I want to revert the changes, and it goes back to close road. If, for example, I didn't want to affect a change to the entire line, if I hit the right arrow cursor, it will take me through and just basically unhighlight everything and just position my cursor somewhere in the text. Okay, so again, that's quite useful again just for speed of processing. Right, menu style, navigation pane and ribbon bar. Ribbon bar is basically Opera 3, so it looks like Word, looks like Excel. You've got all your tabs across the top and your little menu icons underneath. Navigation pane is effectively what Opera 2 used to look like. So you have your tree search sort of expanding function down here. So you would go, you know, financials, sales, processing, and just expand each item. Toolbar size, these are your toolbars. So by default it's set to small, but you can make them large. And then default search, as you saw when we ran the search, we could ignore case, include, delete, etc, etc. So we can change the default options there according to our own personal preferences. Use the Opera PDF printer basically means that Opera will install the Opera PDF printer and effectively as a printer driver on your machine. We generally leave that ticked off. And then advanced previews is quite a useful one. Advanced previews will allow you to have multiple report preview screens open. It will allow you to search within reports. It'll also allow you to change your print settings when you print something, so you can pick a number of copies, which printer to use, etc, etc. That's quite a good one to have on. Remember form and position sizes. So if you have this ticked on, so let's say when I go into sales processing, I would like to have my customer account window sort of thus big, and I want it to be over there. And then I'll just pretend to do something. Now when I go back into processing, Opera will remember where I set it. I go into administration and turn that off, or hit reset all and log back on. Now when I go into sales processing, the box opens up in the same default area. If I were to move it, resize it, close it, go back in, every time it opens up in default. Back to our preferences. Change password. So there's two locations you can change your password. As yourself, you can log into Opera and go to your preferences and change your password here. If you have access to user profiles, you can also change your password there or ask your administrator to do it for you. Use Opera Desktop. I've got that turned off at the moment. The Opera Desktop, if we click OK, again we need to log on to activate those changes. This is the Opera Desktop here. So with that switched on, every time I log into Opera, I will be just given the desktop. So majority of the users will turn that off because it's quite noisy, but it does have some interesting stuff on it, which didn't take. And then finally, web page to display. So you could choose to display your own web page in here. So if I hit test, there we go, that's taking me to the TMB webpage. And the way I would access that, if we click OK, log back on. It's just from the main screen. There we go, so instead of opening up the Opera Desktop, well it is opening up the Opera Desktop, but the home page for the Opera Desktop is now in fact my TMB company webpage. So I believe that is everything. One other thing to show you, under the action button you've got user background options and notification preferences. Generally company backgrounds will be set at company level, so every user has company A with a red background, company B with a blue background, etc, etc. If you want your own personal user backgrounds, you can set those here. The default is the Opera background, but you would pick your company and then you would enable a specific location to a specific logo or image and position it accordingly, so you can centre it, tile it, or stretch it basically to fill the space. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with the default. And then we also had notification preferences. So that's still desktop alerts and how transparent they should be. And these are your messages here. So they come through from, for example, CRM or other notifications that your administrator might set for you. And you can have a sound play when they appear. So that is where you would set and change your user preferences. Thank you.